Well, here we go. We finally got a parking spot. Ended up having to, well, I used my points. Apparently, you know, people just like to sit in parking spots that are reserved. And I don't know. I don't know what they're doing. I don't know if they're sit there, or if they trying to play the system. But yeah, but as you can see behind me, this whole row back here is nothing but, well, I don't know if you can see because of the sun, but this whole row back here behind me and over here is nothing but fucking sleepers and day cabs and some box trucks. There's parked 2 or 3 deep, you can see. And yeah, I don't know if they're paying for their shit or not, but they're sure taking up parking spaces for all of us. So, I don't know. We'll have to freaking see. But it has to be an Amazon. It's the only thing I can think is the reason it's like this. Here we go. There's a real nice peat here. Really nice peat. I like the color, I like that cream white color. Yeah, I don't know. What was I saying before? I was going to show my load and you know, see if I got a parking spot. I don't even know if you can hear me because everybody's running their truck and it's like 55, maybe 60 degrees out here. So I'm gonna come over here and I'll show my load here. This is the second load I picked up for the week. Just pipe, curb pipe. I don't know if it's gas pipe or if it's water pipe, like water mains. But I did an X pattern. You know, I should kind of call myself a stick. You know, I think I'll do that. How about this? We're gonna jump in the trunk here. I'm gonna grab my selfie stick. Try to make this a little more professional. Magnet, your keys. Highly suggest you find a place with a, what do they call them? Nicotine, I don't know, something that's really powerful magnets and your keys. So in case you ever get stuck out of your truck, you know, you have a place to hide your keys and get your keys when you need to, instead of having to try to break in or get a locksmith. Also, if you don't feel like grabbing your keys, you just get out of your truck and you know you can always get in it. All right, let's see here. Huh. What the hell did I do with that selfie stick? Yeah, so much for professional video here. Yeah, this is, I thought I'd just go up in here and grab it, but it's not where I put it. So, got my vacuum cleaner here. I cleaned up and vacuumed. All right. Well, freaking there we go. All right, through the magic of editing, we'll try to fix that up. Oh, come out here without dropping the damn thing. Some sweet tea from Popeyes. All right, so yeah, let's just try to do this a little more professionally now. So, yeah, like I was saying, this is just curb pipe, the second load. Paid $2,400 from Little Rock to pretty much outside Cincinnati. I did have to drive 170 miles to get to it. Let's see, because I was in Springfield, Missouri, which right now there's a big problem with the market. And I'm hoping you can hear me. Truck capacity. Truck capacity is through the roof. You get in some of these areas like Springfield where, you know, you got Prime and everybody else out there. And yeah, it's you're practically bidding and fighting for loads and rates and everything else. So It is what it is. I guess I'll go into detail here a little bit when I get back to the truck, but stuff like this. These are curb pipe. I told them to turn these. I had to go to the bathroom when I got this load. So I told them to turn these when they were going to load these on top. And so the straps went above the pallets here, if you look. And as you can see, I crisscrossed the straps because I figured what would happen with the straps is they would slide down this curb pipe and just loosen up all the time. So I crossed the straps and I put edge protectors on these pallets. And as you can see, they put crap wood on them, and I don't know what they were doing, but anywho, it kept my straps from ripping and breaking and the load falling off. So like that's stuff like that, you gotta be a little knowledgeable, or at least pay attention, because most guys will just throw these straps and went, and the straps will sit there and rub against the wood pallet, actually rip. I don't think those pallets are gonna stay up there real, what do you think? How bad of a turn would you need for these to fall off? Probably. So, man, every time I eat, I always get like, especially I eat spicy stuff, because I put hot sauce in there. I always get like a mucus congestion a little bit, and it takes a little bit to clear up. So I put the straps to the rub rail and around the spools. Not let the straps freaking rub up against the rub up against down the sharp edges. I don't know. I don't even know why I came back here. So I don't know. I'm all over the place right now. So the first load of this week we started out in Hazelton, PA, Allentown Market, and I picked up a it was full. Same thing. You're fighting people, emailing brokers, because that's what it seems like they like doing now. They like playing email back and forth, and I'm guessing what they're doing is they're trying to see if they get somebody that's desperate enough that just throws them a rate that's lower than what they're asking for. And just the market's too crowded, like in the Allentown area. The whole Northeast is just too crowded. Just too many trucks, and the freight volumes are going down. Unless you have like contractor freight, that's where it is right now. And even then, contract rates are going down. And I don't know if it's the actual rate more than it's the fuel surcharge, but I'm sure these companies, they usually don't make long-term contracts. Like, these contracts are usually a couple months to 6 months, maybe a year, and there's usually clauses and all kinds of stuff in them that make sure they don't get screwed, shipping stuff at $8 a mile when they can put it on the spot market for $2. And sometimes the clauses to get out of these contracts are, they'll save more just jumping out of the contract and shipping stuff on the spot market than they would actually be keeping the contract. You get down to like $1.50 a mile from whatever your contract rate was. Like, your contract rate was $3 a mile or $2.80 or something, and now you can throw it on the spot market for $1.25, $1.50 a mile. Yeah, you're probably going to save money even if you do, go against the clause in the contract. So now that I'm going off on some other tangent, let's actually try to tell you what I did this week again. So what I did this week is, like I said, I started out at Hazen, out by where I lived. I had a load, and I dropped it off at around 10, and the market was full. Couldn't really find anything. I wasn't going to run down to Florida for $2 a mile. Just not going to happen. And I went back home and sat for the day. So I lost a day there. Technically I did. I delivered the load. It was technically last week's load. So Tuesday, same thing. Market's flooded. Calling brokers. It's not like what you were. You'd call your first broker and you would tell them, hey, you know, I'll do it for $100 or $200 more, or sometimes, you know, more than that, and they'd be like, yeah, okay, what time can you be there? Can you get it? Can you get it? No, it's not like that now. It's you know, they're on the phone with other people. Why they're talking to you, they'll put you on hold because somebody else called, and they'll have 2 or 3 guys on hold, and they'll go back and forth and see who can take the, you know, who's closer, who can take the load, you know, who's empty, who can take the load cheaper. A lot of them are like doing emails now because they can pretty much have like a bidding war. They'll just you know, wait and have guys, you know, ask them questions about the load and then give them rates, and then they'll just take the cheapest rate. Whoever gets desperate enough and just shoots them a rate that's cheap, they'll just jump on that person and you know, give the load to that carrier or owner operator or whatnot. So yeah, so anywho, like I said, me bitching about the market again. I'm not trying to sound, you know, I don't know. I just didn't get any contract freight. And any relationships I had with brokers were, I guess, at that time. You know, I've took multiple loads for multiple brokers, the same places, and they're nowhere to be found now. You call them up and ask them, and all they say is the same thing. No, we don't have anything, or that contract changed, or we awarded somebody that, and you know, we don't have it available anymore for the spot market. And yeah, so it's slim pickings. I'm not trying to sound like I'm bitching. I'm just trying to say what it really is out there. If you're thinking about getting your authority right now, I wouldn't do it. I would try to find a carrier that has contract rates and jump all over that. And you know, even if you're only grossing $5,000 or $6,000 a week, you know, as long as your costs aren't astronomical, either business-wise or at home, just stay with it. Stay with it, and hope it's something very vital to the economy, and it just keeps going. So, anywho, after that other tirade, this is going to be one of the less professional videos I put out, I guess. But I went up to Williamsport, got a real wire. You saw my other videos earlier this week. That's what I did. I took it out to St. Louis, Granite City, dropped it off. It was only 12,000 pounds. I picked up a partial in Bedford. Between the two, I think I averaged like I brought the rate from like $240 a mile up to like $315 a mile, I think. So, you know, if you're at least flatbed wise, because partials usually can come on and go off, and you can get loads on and off quick on a flatbed. You know, look for those partials. Run LTL. If you could set something up a couple stops LTL, and you know, ask for an extra $100 on each load. Let's say you got 4 loads, you ask for an extra $100. That's 4 extra $100. And you know, if you can get it set up to where you're, you know, boom, 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 you know, you get the stuff on and off, and you can do better running LTL easily in a market like this. So yeah, so that's what happened. I ended up dropping the attachments, so I picked up in Bedford off in Springfield, Missouri, and then that was technically like the middle of the day. I ended up sitting there a little bit. I took them about, I guess I came around lunchtime, so, you know, sitting for an hour, and then they couldn't find anybody to, I guess they were working on the high lift that they usually use to take the equipment off. They were doing a maintenance on it. And I guess the 2 guys that were certified to operate the equipment in the yard, because it wasn't equipment, you know, they repaired and had equipment, they took a late lunch or something, so I had to wait, you know, almost 2 hours for them to get those 2 attachments off. Which later on I found if I would have went up and asked, they probably would have, you know, because liability reasons, I guess, they probably would have let me actually operate the excavator and take the pieces of equipment off. Which I guess I'll try that every once in a while if that ever happens again. But anywho, I ended up getting stuck over there at the Pilot outside Springfield, Missouri. And the last, you know, sometimes after you spend 4 hours on the phone with brokers and you know, calling brokers that you had, you know, previously in the area and ones on the spot market, you just give up. You're just tired. It's not worth it. You know, this amount of stress, you know, finding loads and setting up, like I set up a partial that would have been great up to Buffalo, New York. It would have been like $5.20 a mile or $5.30 a mile. It's 3 partials. And I would have picked them all up right around Springfield. The one was, where was the other one? One was Kansas City. I don't know if it was, I think it was Kansas City, Missouri. You know, so I'd have to drive like 160 miles or something, or 150 miles out to go get that one. But it paid, it was, you know, practically made the load. And you call these brokers up and you say, hey, I see this a partial, and you ask them how big it is and make everything, you know, clear. And you say, hey, I got 2 other guys with partials, 2 other brokers. I'm trying to set this up. You know, I will call you back. I will call you back, and I got this load if I can set these up. And you tell them that, and guess what? As soon as you get off the phone, you talk to the other 2, you go to call that broker back up, you look up the number on the load board, and it's gone. And then you go back through your phone, you call them up, and you're like, hey, what happened to that load? I told you I was setting. Oh well, we already had somebody, you know, offer on it, and they took it or whatnot, you know. And you know, I even told the guy I would take it for $100 less if he would just save that one load. You know, but I guess either somebody else took it for a partial or somebody was really desperate to get back up that way, because it still paid. It paid $1.50 a mile. So maybe somebody took the partial, or a hot shot did it. I don't know. So yeah, that screwed that idea up. So then the rest of the day was me debating whether or not I was going to go into Phoenix and go down to Phoenix for $3.50 a mile, 1,400 miles, and go down there and play, you know, get the hell out of there on Monday, because I'm looking at loads going out to Houston, Texas. One load it was. The rest all going to California, which I don't have DPF or emissions or anything, so I can't go into California. So the rest all went into California for $2 or $2.30 a mile. And then there's one load for, I think it was $1.25, maybe $1.30, went out to Houston, over 1,000 miles. And if I could get the load up a little bit, I would have went into Phoenix and made my week like an $8,000 gross week. But yeah, that didn't pan out either. When I finally got a hold of the other broker to book the load for Monday, the broker I spoke to earlier that said, hey, you know, that I kind of got the rate up a little bit. At least that went from $3.50 a mile to, I got it up to $3.80 a mile. I said, I'm going to call you right back. Right back, I said, I'm taking this load. I said, I just got to make sure I can get out of Phoenix. I said, I'm going to call the broker. I'll call you back in 5 minutes. Sure enough, I tell the guy I'm going to take the load in Phoenix. Send me the rate confirmation, then I'll, you know, for Monday's load. And the load's going off the board, the one that was going to Phoenix. You know, not the one coming from Phoenix to Texas, but the one that I was going to take down there. So there you go. Oh, you know, I called him up, and he's like, yeah, I let that, you know, somebody wanted the load and got out. You know, he pretty much told me somebody took the load cheaper. So it is what it is right now. So I ended up having a deadhead. I had to look within 200 miles of Springfield, because the market's flooded with trucks. And I ended up finding this load out, the load I just showed you, outside Little Rock, Arkansas. I had to take 7, which is a beautiful road. I'd like to do it in a Corvette or a motorcycle. The truck, I sure wouldn't want to take something loaded down there, especially if they got snow or anything. But it goes right through the Ozarks. It's beautiful. So I took this load down. No, I didn't take this load. I went down to go pick this load up. And I picked this load up. And like I said, I had to deadhead like 170 miles, which pretty much turned normal. And this load only paid $2,400, but it's going to Ohio, so hopefully it set my week up this coming week, good. I'm hoping. I also have to get the truck trailer inspected, which I'm going to do back at the terminal, so that might end up, depending on how that goes, that might end up messing up the week. I know the brakes are pretty low on this trailer. I'm hoping they have a new trailer for me. They said they're going to 53s. Hopefully there's one there. And I can just swap out the trailer and I won't lose any time with that. But But yeah, so for the week, uh, I'm gonna gross, I think, $5,600 on 1,900 miles, and it's gonna come out to, I think I did it like 285 a mile. 285 a mile. I'm doing this off the top of my head. I should have wrote it down. I should just off the top of my head. 285 a mile. I actually, with all the light freight and I'm the 60 to 65 mile an hour mafia now. I calmed down a little bit. Not 100%, but I did. I'm averaging 7.4 miles a gallon right now between the level ground, the lightweight freight, and slowing the truck down. So that's going to help out my fuel bill. It's still going to be, I think it's going to be $1,400. My fuel bill is going to be on 1,900 miles, or like $1,350. Now that's just off the top of my head. I do get a 10-cent discount at Love's, but that's the only discount I get. I don't know if the carrier's keeping the rest or what. But I usually use Mudflap too, but I haven't used Mudflap because I have an A to B card, and that's what I was specifically using for Mudflap. And they took my credit out of nowhere from $1,200 and dropped it down to like $300. So it's almost useless. I can't even fill a tank up with that. So I don't know why that happened. My credit hasn't changed or anything. I'm guessing they're just trying to insulate themselves with the market and everything. So I don't really use Mudflap that much, and I'm trying to. I don't have really any funds in my business account. My savings in the business account is down to. I don't want to really tell this, but it's not good. Let's put it that way. I could probably put a down payment on a car, maybe. Buy here, pay here car. And no, I have money in my tax that I've leaked into a little bit. When I did the injectors, I leaked into that. But there's money in the house fund, savings. But like I said a million times on this video, me and my wife have already come to agreement that if this doesn't work out, I'm not. Maybe once I can do it, but we're not stealing money out of the savings, for the house and everything. At home fund to try to keep this business going. She said if the economy's going that bad, then maybe it's just not time to do this and get out. Park the truck, try to get a job, and keep paying for the truck. And if you can't. It goes. But as long as this week, comes out, I'm going to probably end up between fuel, my cost, my 15% to the carrier. I have it down between, I think, like I said, I had this all worked out before. I just didn't write it down. But I think I'm going to be like $2,600 I'm going to bring home or back to the business account. Give or take, maybe more, maybe less. I think it's going to be more because I think I calculated more fuel into this. So we'll see. So like I said, all miles I've averaged 285 a mile. And I know some of you guys might be trying to do the math, and if it's wrong, it's wrong. Like I said, I should have wrote it down. I'm going to try to keep doing this at the end of the week on Sundays or Mondays, and I'll write it down and actually get my numbers right off the bat. I'm not trying to brag right now. Trust me, I'm not going to brag about like a $5,500 a week or whatnot. Right now, I'm just telling you how it is. I'm trying to explain to you that if you're looking to get your authority and you're looking to go out to Lone Mountain and get yourself a $3,000 a month or $2,000 a month truck payment or whatever you're trying to do, don't do it. It's not the market for it. This is different than slow markets. This is a recession. This is a trucking market recession along with the economy. This isn't 2019. This isn't like a little hiccup that's going to last for a while. I think this is going to last. Now, I don't know. I don't want to say it. Because if it gets worse and it lasts like this, you're going to find it's going to be a trucking apocalypse. That's what I'm going to say. And all that's going to be left are probably mega carriers, and the ones that didn't, spend too much money, and you're gonna have drivers all over the market because no one's gonna be able to afford to keep paying these drivers 70 to 80 cents a mile here. Because like I said, I know contract rates are dropping too. You know, I see sometimes right now I see owner operators bitching about their contract rates going down because they're not getting the fuel surcharges going down, so it's dropping. You know, they feel like they're making less money, even though you know their fuel costs have went down a little bit. It's a big difference between their fuel surcharge and what the actual fuel costs are, because you also have tires, everything's up, everything. I'm at 20 minutes here, and between me and editing this video, it's going to be long, and it's going to be incoherent nonsense, I can tell you that right now. I'm just all over the place. I'd like to try to make a video specifically on one thing, but everything is intertwined in this business. Everything's intertwined. You're not just simply making a product, selling it, and putting it out there. You don't have just it's everything. Everything involved in this business. You know, I don't have, you as an owner, you don't have many controls of your cost. Technically, you kind of have control of your fuel costs, maybe tire discounts and stuff, but technically, you have, unless you're a giant mega carrier, you can't call people up and be like, hey, I'm going to probably order like 6,000 tires this year. How about, you know, you throw me a discount or set up, you know, a price variant, you know, with your vendors and stuff. We don't have that as one truck owner operators, and even small carrier owner operators, probably until you get to like 20 or 30 trucks, maybe 10. We don't have that bargaining power. So I'm going to end it here. Please like, subscribe, comment. I would like to see comments about what I'm talking about, so I could probably make more focused videos instead of being all over the place and very discombobulated. And yeah, I'm gonna I might be on live tonight. I might jump on, somebody said DIY might do a live video tonight. Sterling might. I'll see. Maybe I'd like to try to jump on there and put out some good content and you know, keep the conversation going, I guess, with some pretty knowledgeable guys. And yeah, so keep the tires down and pay off your debt, save. You know, it is what it is. You know, have a good one, guys.